Welcome to the last and final part of this Donkey Kong 94 80% guide. So, World 9 is a very cool world, but also on the other side a very stupid world. Most of the stages are just very RNG dependent, especially especially the first four ones, you could say, or like the first three. Stage 4 is not any RNG whatsoever, just the first three stages. There is an RNG component to it. So 9.1, so the RNG component here is that Donkey Kong Jr. can decide when he switches a switch. So now, already he's being a dick. So because he didn't... Oh, I died. Never mind. But he didn't switch the switch at the beginning, so that means that when I get on the second conveyor belt, that I have are only able to walk slow basically because it's not in the direction I wanna have it. So you want to basically do two handsprings, then jump on it, and optimally he switched the switch so that you have the fast conveyor belt. And the second time then he should switch it again so you have another good fast conveyor belt basically. So I die here real quick. So, but that was the optimal on how you would execute the stage. But normally it isn't that optimal, and you can easily die depending on what RNG you get. So he switched at the beginning again, which is good. Like these objects that fall down there are also RNG. So sometimes you can just go like really fast on the conveyor belt, and sometimes you can't because an object is in your way. So that was again an optimal 9.1, but it can also go wrong. You can easily die if you get bad RNG here. So here he didn't switch, so that means this is way harder now to execute, and it takes also longer. So if you have a bad conveyor belt, you wanna jump. So as you can see, this is a lot slower now, and you can easily die here. Because it's a lot more difficult. So now we can die, see, that's what I mean. Like I could not do anything against this. This was just a very inconvenient RNG. It wasn't really my fault or anything. It just was very bad RNG. So this stage is very scary in a run. So and you don't really have to practice anything about the stage. You just have to get used to that this stage is a bitch basically. So 9.2 is also similar than 9.1, or like when it comes to RNG, just like 9.2 is like a lot simpler when it comes to RNG. Either you get good RNG or not. So he has to switch the switch at first, and then he has this one second. This is like a very short stage. So good RNG is when he switches the switch at the beginning and doesn't switch it back. Good RNG is when bad RNG is when he doesn't switch the switch at the beginning, and bad RNG is when he switches the switch but instantly switches it back. And good RNG is basically when he switches it at the beginning and doesn't switch it again. And usually you get good RNG on the stage. It's very rare that you get bad RNG on the stage, but when it happens you lose around 5 seconds. So let's see what RNG I get now. So this is most likely good RNG. Yes, this is good RNG. You just do a triple backflip and then you press A to get up there. I wanna show you bad RNG though, because I had it happen in my run, in a lot of runs. Actually in my PB it happened. So this is also good RNG. Like I said, usually you get good RNG here. So I usually don't worry about getting bad RNG here because you really get rarely bad RNG, but it happens. So this is bad RNG. Like, see, my skill basically made up for it, but if you still bad, this would have basically lost you 5 seconds. So that was the most convenient bad RNG because you can make it up with skill. The other one you can't make up with skill. So this stage is also RNG dependent. So Donkey Kong Jr. or Donkey Kong switches the switch when he wants to, and the optimal is that he switches it now. Then you can just jump through the enemy. So you want to climb up the lever. So here you wait until he throws a mushroom down there. So this is, he didn't throw a mushroom down there, which is very weird, but sometimes happens. So now you have to wait until he switches it back, and this is an average, this was an average stage. So in very rare cases you can do a 6 seconds better time here than I got there, but you can also like lose 20 seconds here easily if you have to get better, if you get bad RNG. So generally if you have like, so how like bad RNG is usually when, or bad RNG is when you cannot, like this is awesome RNG. Oh, actually it isn't. Never mind then. So I have to explain it again here, what I meant. So when you start the stage, he will switch the switch, and if he doesn't switch the switch, the conveyor belt is slow, and when that happens, that is very bad RNG. And it can also happen that he doesn't switch the switch here, so you have to wait here. So you know when the skull made 2 rounds, usually the switch comes, and if there is nothing happening, that means it's bad RNG. So he can also just decide to not switch it here for like 10 seconds, so this stage is horrible. So this is just a very RNG dependent stage, and it's not difficult whatsoever, just RNG dependent. And this is the shortest world, by the way, I think, or like with World 1 the shortest one. So here you want to, basically when you go down you want to just be on one vine, and when you go up you want to be on 2 vines to be the fastest possible way. So that was perfect. This is also, actually there is RNG in this stage with the birds, but if it doesn't really, like, okay, you can lose a lot of time when it's really bad, but it's not that hardcore RNG than the other ones. So yeah, in stage 4 is definitely some noticeable RNG, but it's not that bad. So stage 5 is a very easy stage. I will only show the best way of doing stage 5 because it's not that difficult and it saves like easy a second. So let's do this. So you do immediately a handspring at the beginning, then you backflip, 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 backflip. So I fade the strat. So this would be a problem in a run, it would just lose 2 seconds or so, but you want to get on that last tile too. So at the beginning you do handspring, back. Yeah, that sucks, but that's also just 2 seconds. So basically if you fail the stage, usually you don't die then, you just lose like 2 seconds or 3 seconds. But this stage is really not difficult. Handspring, backflip, 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 backflip. That was optimal. So what's so advanced about this strat is that you do the handspring at the beginning, that saves a second. So 9-6 is actually the worst stage in the game. So what I do here is it's optimal to count the how many times you swung on this rope thing. If you just swung to the maximum, it's not optimal, and this stage is way more RNG dependent then. So what you wanna do, the first swung or swing takes 6 I'm missing a word, 6 like spins around that thing. I hope you understand what I mean. The second requires 7 spins and the last 4 spins. So I count those spins every time. It's quite difficult to count them because it's very fast. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, jump. That was optimal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That was extremely optimal. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We still got bad RNG, but that was optimally executed. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's important that you just swing 4 times there, because if you swing more than 4 times, you just land into Donkey Kong and die. So that stage is horrible. It's the worst stage in the game. I hate it. 9-7 is easy. You just show you the save strat, backflip, 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 and done. Easy every time. I'm thinking if I should only show the advanced thread on this stage 2 or not. I just show the advanced thread. I mean, the other thread is very self-explanatory, and I just show the other thread. So what you want to do is you go into handspring mode, stand on this barrel, do a handspring here on it, and not do that, what I just did there. I've never done that before. If you think I'm lying, that's a lie. I'm not lying. That really never happened before. I died there on other raids, but never died that way. So handspring at the beginning, handspring on the barrel. Instantly when you hit it the second barrel, go out of handspring mode and do this basically. And the last one you collect here on the top. And that was almost the last fight, and I'm almost done with the tutorial. So I've been doing this guide for I don't know how long. It's been a very long time. I always like did some parts at different times, and I just took it very chill. But this is the end of the guide. I have to say, for the most part, I enjoyed it. Was interesting. It was good practice for me also. Just doing the stages all over again and explaining what I'm doing. It's good practice. So the last stage though is not free. It is something that where you have to concentrate and have to also get a bit of RNG. So what I do here at the beginning is I look at Donkey Kong eyes. So I walk to the right and look at Donkey Kong eyes, and if they move to the right, I backflip to the right, so I can make it on those on the fist. So now I collect one barrel. Now I don't throw the barrel against him. I wait until he does another barrels, and you shouldn't. So that's the difficult about this fight. You shouldn't ever get down again when you're up there. So you have to jump at the correct time, so you don't get fucked. So here again I wait until his eyes go to the right, and then I backflip. So jump, jump. So I collect the first barrel. I don't throw it right now. I throw it when he does the other barrels. So now I have the second barrel. I don't throw it yet. I throw it now. So now I have another barrel, and that barrel is there for the next transition basically. So I only have to I basically take 1 damage to the later round. So jump, wait until the barrel spawns, collect another barrel. Now you wait until he does another barrel. That was bad RNG, for example. Normally I would have another barrel for the next fight, for the next transition, but in this case I don't, because I got bad RNG and I forgot to jump there. It was very stupid. So in the third transition he does like these like these multiple fists in a row thing that you just saw. You just stand here and jump when you need to jump. If you're in this place, you're basically invincible. So now you just finish off this motherfucker. This was the tutorial or guide for Donkey Kong 94 any percent. Now we just look at the cutscene. Oh man, Jesus Christ. So, goodbye guys.